Sébastien Lecornu tasked by President Macron to hold budget talks with all political parties, and he's got until tomorrow evening. But the far-right National Rally of Marine Le Pen has declined the invitation. They're calling for snap elections, with polls indicating they'd fare better than they did last year. For more on all of this, we can go across to James André, standing by at the Prime Minister's office. James, good afternoon. Any chance of a Hail Mary for Sébastien Lecornu, or are his days still numbered?
Well, look, it's going to be very, very complicated. One of the main players is going to be received here and meet Sébastien Lecornu at 5 p.m. local time here in Paris. That's an information that's just come through. This is Bruno Retailleau, who is the outgoing Interior Minister and who was one of the reasons this government was forced to step down, along with Bruno Le Maire, which was being very, very criticized. He's the former economy minister from the first 7 years of Emmanuel Macron's 2 tenures, and who is considered by a lot of the opposition as the man responsible for €1 trillion worth of extra debt for France. So indeed, there are things that are being changed. There are moves, but it's very, very unclear if indeed this government can survive, or even if negotiations can take place. What the Prime Minister has said, look, political parties, we need to at least agree on 2 things. One of these things is a budget for France, because indeed this budget needs to be voted in order for the nation to carry on and to go into next year without being faced with a massive economic crisis. But then the other one is Nouvelle Caledonia, New Caledonia, which is a French territory where there is unrest at the moment. So what's happened till now is that indeed the former Prime Minister has met with his own allies that have been very critic of Emmanuel Macron at this stage. We saw former Prime Minister actually called for him to resign. That was yesterday. So indeed, there is tension within the central bloc, who are the natural allies of Emmanuel Macron. But then what he's trying to do now is garner support from other parties.
James, I mentioned earlier that the National Rally isn't even taking part in these talks with the Prime Minister. So is Emmanuel Macron just delaying the inevitable?
Well, I mean, that's the big question mark. A lot of people don't really understand where he's trying to go with this new round of discussions. A lot of people here are pointing out that there were 27 days of consultations in order to try and build the previous government that only lasted for about 14 hours. And now, well, we're having new consultations with the political parties. Obviously, what we are seeing is various parties asking for various different things. Indeed, the National Rally has been calling for snap elections ever since the fall of the previous government, that of François Bayrou. They see themselves as standing to gain from snap elections that could take place right away. If you take the far left party, the France Unbowed, they're actually calling for Emmanuel Macron himself to step down, because they believe in a presidential election they could fare well. Now, the big question is, can indeed Sébastien Lecornu garner enough support between the centre and the 2 moderate left and right-wing parties in order to survive this crisis? Well, that would be obviously what Emmanuel Macron would like to see happen. But what the National Rally is saying is, look, he's not looking not looking at the situation as it is, and now there is a necessity for some stronger changes, some more meaningful changes, and that indeed is the position from which Marine Le Pen and Jordan Bardella are saying, look, we've already come here to meet the Prime Minister twice. We don't see the point of doing that a 3rd time. His exact words were, this is only doing more to help Emmanuel Macron rather than help the French people.
Indeed, we'll see what